Hi everyone, and welcome back or welcome to another bullet journal video. Today I have my new semester set up. Some of the supplies I'm using today are the Tombos in the colors 837, N55, and N95, as well as the Micron plastic nib and the Muji gel pen in the tip 0.38. Here I'm doing a title page for this section. I just wrote semester 1, or I guess sem 1, in the same colors and font that I used for my bullet journal title page. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should probably go check out my last video because I had like 20 pages for your new bullet journal. So this is my important dates tracker / semester overview. I'm using this red color to divide the page into 4 sections for the 4 months that my semester runs. I then went in with the darker gray to create a heading for the calendar for that month, and then in the red section I'm adding the title. I was struggling a little bit. I wrote out October instead of September, but I took a piece of paper from my old bullet journal because it was the same cream color to fix it just with some double-sided tape, and it worked really well. I wrote the title and the months in French, so if you're confused by any of the spelling or why the days of the week are weird letters, it's just kind of out of habit. I used to use the Micron 005 for small detailed work like this, but they're kind of expensive and the tip wears down really quick, so it wasn't really worth the money, so I just reserved that for like important or fancy projects. Under the little calendar, I write in dates that are like sort of school related but not school work related, so reading week and like term dates or any important dates related that way, or I guess like football games and stuff too. And then on the right side, that's where I add all of my due dates and assignments and readings and stuff. For each of the spreads today, I included a digital filled in version so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like once it's all filled in. If you like this, give this video a thumbs up, and then I will continue to do this for any future videos as well. So here is my class overview, a little mini like weekly schedule. So I only included Monday through Friday because that's the only time I have classes, but you'll see in a couple spreads that I have a whole time blocking page for everything else in your life. This is just if you are not really into planning everything in your life, then it's kind of more compact and just to the point. Since our classes all work on the same hour-and-a-half intervals each and every day, and most of our classes are either an hour-and-a-half or 3 hours, I did each like intervals, so like 8:30 to 10, 10 to 11:30, things like that, instead of doing every single hour of the day. Since classes are online, I feel like there's going to be even more passwords and usernames and websites and stuff to have to remember, so I added a section here where you can write in like a password tracker, as well as a mini contact list for professors or anyone else you need to remember emails for. Now we are on to my assignment tracker and my reading tracker. The assignment tracker you can probably use for a few classes, but the reading tracker you might need to replicate for every class you have readings for. On the assignment tracker, I split it into 6 columns. So the first one I did the due date, and then the class, and then the project. And I also left a section for whether I started it, it's finished, and then also submitted. Since there are a bunch of rows, and I find sometimes it gets a little confusing when you're trying to read across, especially further down in the spread, so I'm going in with the light gray on every other row so it's easier to follow your ideas like across the page. I also got some red in the gray when I went back to like even out a line. So I'm just taking a piece of paper again with some double-sided tape from my old bullet journal and covering that. I struggled a little bit with this red marker because this was the very first Tombow I got, so I didn't really know how to use it, and I frayed the tip pretty badly, but there's still ink left in it, so I don't really want to get rid of it, but it does make it more difficult to use. For the reading tracker, I have 3 columns, so the week, the reading or like the author for the reading, and then a section for key points so you can remember what it was about. And then there are rows for each week. I split them all out, like I just checked our academic calendar. And then at the very bottom, there's a section for notes, so maybe things that'll be on the exam or things you have to go back over and read. And here's an example of the filled-in spread. So next we have my time blocking spread, and this is different from a course overview because here you want to include classes as well as everything else in your week that you want to plan out. I've included 7 columns, obviously one for each day of the week, and then each hour of the day. I started at 7 a.m. because honestly I'm never going to be awake before 7 a.m. If you are, good for you. You can start earlier, but I started at 7 and then I went until 1 a.m. as well. I'm thinking of doing a whole post or video on time blocking, the different methods and things to consider when creating your schedule, so let me know if you'd be interested in that, and I will try to do it. So this is what it looks like all filled in. This is just a completely random schedule that I just threw together. So the next spread is something I saw Caitlin De Silva from Caitlin's Corner on YouTube do. I thought it was a really good idea. I have like Pinterest boards of like meal ideas, but there's like a lot that I'm probably never gonna get to. So this is a good just like tried and true, quick, easy, cheap meals. So I divided this into breakfast, lunch / dinner because they're kind of interchangeable for me. I don't really see one as dinner and one as lunch, you know. And then also a section for snacks and desserts. And of course we had to have drop shadows because it's not a spread without drop shadows. The spread is especially great for students moving out on their own for the first time and having to cook for themselves. You can just take ideas from here and add it to your meal plan for the week. I do have a meal plan included in my September weekly spreads, so that'll be my next video, so stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified when that video goes live. And we have made it to the last spread of this video, and arguably the most important one, a self-care spread. It doesn't matter if you're a student or you work or whatever it is you do in your life, self-care is so important, and I think that you really need to remember to take time for yourself and do things you enjoy as a student. Even though school is your priority, in order to do better in school and be more productive and efficient, you really need to take that downtime and do things you enjoy. I do talk more about this in a blog post I posted a little while ago. I will link it below if you want to know more about that, but self-care is so, so, so important. I made this stencil with a piece of cardstock and a punch, but you can definitely just use a ruler and measure it all out. In each tag, I included a self-care activity or something I enjoy doing just to remind myself to do those things. So here's a little flip through of all the spreads, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If there's anything you want to see in the future, leave a comment below. I respond to all my comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe and turn on post notifications if you want to see any of my future videos.